Hey guys, Lizzler here, and for this one, sorry, I'm scratching my arm. For this one, I was gonna try to record. I was just speed writing, trying to get the memories out because this stuff happened like a while ago, and then fairly recently, but weeks ago. So I'm trying to remember things. So I'm trying to record this and then take the dog out and then go shower. But this one is basically when you're butting heads with your manager. It's basically, I think that's what I'm gonna call it. Butting heads with your manager, whatever you want to call it. When you disagree with your coworkers. I never see them or physically work with them, but they're basically coworkers. They're basically my boss, I guess. This whole time I've been driving for a little bit over a year, I've had 3 fleet managers. Now, the first one had her maybe for like a couple weeks to a month, and she just kind of then all of a sudden I got a new one. I don't know, didn't have any problems with her, didn't last very long. Then I got this second one, don't even remember what her name is. I wouldn't say her name anyway, but so this lady, I guess we were cool. There wasn't really any issues. I think the only issue for me is coming back to work on time, but I'm trying to cram in all the shit I need to do and sleep, and that just doesn't work out. And I live like 45 minutes away, plus traffic, plus trying to find a place to park, because for some reason the company thinks it's cool to keep hiring people, but there's not enough parking for us to park our cars, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. Fix it. Anyways, I had to write it down. So if I keep looking back at this sheet of paper, you know why. I had to speed write it, but not complete detailed. Just the gist of, so I can remember what's going on. Like my shirt, world's okayest Marine. It's backwards. I don't know why it shows it backwards, but it's whatever. So, like I said, it was my second fleet manager, my old one, because the first one really didn't count. So for this one, it says, okay, so I picked up a load late. That was my fault because I came back to work late. I said what time I'd be back to work, but I got back to work later than that, like about maybe an hour. I think I got to the terminal an hour later, but then I had to put everything in the truck, so that's another hour of me just throwing stuff in here and everything like that. So I was driving, I think it was like the second night, or something, or I think this was a separate load, because I'm thinking of the route that I was on. This was a whole nother load. So she was already, but this was the same 2 weeks I was out. So like the first load was late and everything, and the route I was on, it got to the point where I had to I ran out of time for trying to find somewhere to park, so I had to ask for personal drive time. And personal drive time is basically, it gives you time to drive even though your clock is completely empty to work, to drive about 160 miles, I think, to get to the nearest truck stop or rest area, get to the nearest one. And so I was pretty much at the end of my clock at this point. So I think it was like 8 p.m., I think. And I pulled over on the side of the road, went off duty, did all the stuff, and asked for personal drive time to find a place to sleep. And they were like, cool, approved. And then I drove for like 2 more hours, I believe. So it's about like 10, and I get to this other truck stop. I park for the night and everything, and I go to sleep. So now I'm up, like the following morning rolls around, and I get a phone call while I'm brushing my teeth. And I had asked that truck stop, because they were like, every time I've gone there, which is only a few times that I've been there, in the mornings or at night, and in the mornings they're like always cleaning the female bathroom every time at that time. And I'm just like, bro, I have to pee and I'm trying to go. So they let me use one of the bathrooms, one of their showers, so I can brush my teeth and wash my face and pee, because I'm just like, yo, this has been like 10 minutes. What are y'all doing? I don't know when you started, but I got to go. So I'm in there brushing my teeth, and she calls me talking about you can't be taking these extended breaks it's been over 10 hours. Are you gonna make this on time? Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? He's like, you shut down early. He says you shut down at like some god awful time, like 4 or 5 or something. And I was just like, I drove till 8 p.m., went off duty and asked for personal drive time, and drove 2 more hours after that, and then went officially off duty. She's ripping me a new one. I'm just like, why would I stop that early and not send a message? And if I really stopped that early, why didn't you say anything? Were you not at work? You guys are never at work. Oh, funny how that works, isn't it? Someone's always not in the fucking office. It's always half of the people, half of those fleet managers are always out of the office. Contact the other 2. So now the other 2 are swamped and have to handle all the fucking work. So you were there, and I supposedly went off duty, but you didn't say anything, but you're gonna wait till the next day. Right, because that would have popped up like, why is she still sitting there? So she's yelling at me. I'm like, no, I went off duty at 8, asked for personal drive time because there was nowhere to park. This little loopy that's just driving me. Where is that? There he is. And I'm just like, no, I stopped at 8, asked for personal drive time, drove 2 more hours. She was like, and she double checked, and she was like, oh, yeah, just look closely because you snapping at me for no reason. You gonna mess around and catch the wrong one. You gonna mess around and do that to the wrong one, and they're gonna show up. They're gonna show up where you at. You need to double check before you start snapping at folks, but they don't. This because this continues. I was just like, no. She's like, oh, my bad. She's like, apologized. Like, oh, I didn't see that. It looks like whatever at first glance. I'm like, yeah, I bet it does. But like, why would you like? I was like, I would never shut down that early. I told her, like, I wouldn't shut down that early and not say something about it. I would have said, hey, I shut down for this, and I'll be like, whatever reason. Like, I would have parked, went off duty, sent a message saying why I went off duty or shutting down for whatever reason. I wouldn't just shut down because I felt like it. No. So I thought that was funny. That was like the first one. Then, This one I didn't know. So I delivered this one. I picked up another trailer, and I sent in a maintenance request because something was broken on it, and I don't remember what, but it needed a maintenance request to fix it so I could legally drive down the road and not get pulled over and get a ticket. And I think it was one of the lights or something. It was probably one of the lights, most likely, because that's usually what the majority of the problems are lights. And I didn't know this, but since I put in the request and I went to the nearest truck stop and sent it there and waited, because I thought that when you sent in a maintenance request, an over-the-road maintenance request, you have to sit there and wait so they could tell you where the nearest place is to go, where they set you up at to get the maintenance done. So they can easily pinpoint like your location because you're sitting in one spot. So like, okay, this person is here. Let's look at the radius and figure out where we're going to send them. And whenever you send a maintenance request, they take a long ass time to reply. Just for the message saying, like, to send in the message originally, you put all your stuff in it, a brief thing of what's wrong. Then you got to wait like 30 minutes to like an hour saying, okay, it was approved. Then you have to wait another hour or so for them after confirming that they found someone, and then you gotta wait like another message letting you know like either you're going there or they're coming to you, one of those, and then they're like, okay, go ahead and go. So it's like you have to wait hours just for that, not even them getting to you if they have to come to you. So that's what I was doing, was sitting there waiting for them to reply saying that they found someone. I thought I was still new to the whole maintenance request thing because I haven't had to really send any. The only one I sent in was the first one because I didn't know what a regen was and my truck shut down because it needed one. And I didn't know what it was and I didn't know I could do it. I was on the side of the road anyway, so that's kind of what I figured. You have to sit in one spot. I didn't know you could just keep on fucking driving. And then though, oh, there's a fucking bug in here. Like, it's like early spring and now there's fucking insects everywhere. Anyways, it's like this little bitty bug just flew by and I'm just like, get the fuck out. This is not for you. Get out. So, she yelled at me about that, saying I took an extended break, I shut down super early, and I was like, well, I sent in a maintenance request, they took all day to reply till my clock was empty, like my clock was over by the time they said where to go, and I didn't know that it was okay for me to keep driving after I sent one. So yeah, my bad, but I didn't know I could keep going, so now I just send it in and keep it going, and they figure the fuck out. They call me like, oh, which direction are you heading, blah 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 blah, and so. So we butt heads about that. I was like, I didn't fucking know. Like how often do I have to send this? That stupid bug. And so it's just like, okay, cool. All right, cool. So I think there was another time, I can't quite place it, but I think there was another time where she thought I shut down earlier than I really did. I can't remember like the exact events or whatever, but I'm pretty sure there was another time that she did that. So there was that, and I just, all you gotta do is read it. Like, y'all act like y'all be making these excuses like, I don't have my coffee in my system. Like, bitch, we gotta sit. We don't even get to go home. We're sleeping in something that's not even our fucking home. Working basically 24 hours because we have to sleep in this thing. We cannot leave a loaded trailer for longer than a couple hours. We're fucking working all the time. Oh, you too tired? Oh, you don't have your coffee in your system? Okay, cool. No. I know you saw that bug. I know you saw it right up here. I know you saw it because I saw it. Oh, that's just like, but anyways, yeah, that excuse pisses me off. I'm like, you get to go fucking home. You get to sleep. Like, it's a race against the clock to stop, to drive 500 miles, park somewhere safe. Oof, if I end up smacking my phone against something, you know why. Because I'm trying to kill it. It's just driving me crazy. And then to eat, shower, whatever the fuck else you need to take care of. I have a dog, so I have to do that too. And then whatever else you have to take care of on the computer or whatever. And to also to have you time to watch something or do something you want to do. Read a book, watch a video, play a game, something. And get a full 8 hours of sleep. That doesn't happen for me. I get about 5 to 6. And with my bad sleeping habits, so 5 to 6, maybe 4. And it's just like, and honestly, that's just a bullshit excuse. That's a bullshit, unprofessional excuse. Like, it's funny if you're just joking around with your friends, like you and so and so are really cool, but we weren't cool like that for you to be like, ha ha ha, no, I'm sorry, I don't have my coffee, I don't know what's happening. No, like, read it. Fucking read it. Like, I don't know, it's just so funny. Y'all don't even get into work till about 8, 9. Y'all talking about the fuck you talk about yelling at me, and most of us are rolling at like 4. Like, what are you doing? That stupid bug is driving me crazy. Anyways, I digress. I'm sorry. I'm running off on a tangent. I am so sorry. It's just annoying after a while. It just really is. Okay, so this one really pissed me off. This one really pissed me off. So my truck was due for mid-trip inspection. So it was gonna be due while I was on the road. So I think I had like a few days before it was due, and then the DOT is on a sticker. The DOT inspection is on a sticker on the side of the truck. And it said I had like another month or so before it was due. And she over here talking about me getting all hectic. You're overdue by like 2 weeks. I'm like, that's not what that sticker says. I'm like, well, that's what it says in the computer. I'm like, okay. And so, yeah, and you're due for mid-trip in a few days. So might as well do both at the same time. So we're like, cool, okay, we'll do that. So I asked her, do you want me to, after I deliver this load that I currently have, do you want me to pick up another one and then go to get maintenance done? Which is not a good idea because it's not going to be on time because you have to wait in line. It's a long time. You're not the only truck that needs something done. So it would have made sense to be like, no, just go ahead and go after you deliver. So I get there, I deliver it, and when you get to the place, wherever, there's a macro, a message for everything. So I get there, I send in a macro, whatever the fuck, 3 or something, I don't know. I think it's a 3. It says there's different selections in it, and it says arrived at consignee, which is where I'm delivering to. And after I send that in, an automated message gets sent back to me saying ready to pick up load after empty trailer. She said, go ahead and deliver and then head over there. So I was like, no. And why? There's a little column, there's a little thing where you can type in why, yes or no. So I put yes, or I put no, and I typed out why, due for DOT and mid-trip inspection. Send. No. I said no. DOT mid-trip. And I delivered it and sent in a macro 5, which is saying empty at bill of lading destination. And then I type in all the stuff, how much it weighed, what was the trailer, did you pick up a new trailer, all that stuff. And then it asks, are you ready to pick up a load? At the bottom, I say no, due for mid-trip and DOT inspection. Send. Woman still sends me a load. I'm just like, wait a minute, didn't we just have a phone discussion about this, or a message? And then I sent in 2 messages saying no and why, but you still send me a load. So I sent another message. I'm like, do you want me to pick this up and then go get the maintenance and send in the maintenance request to go get this done? She's like, yeah, that's fine, go pick it up. I'm like, okay. Okay. So I pick up the load, send in the maintenance request, start driving. And I don't remember, I think this is like the next day. They told me what truck stop to go to, and it was like a TA, I think. It was a TA. It's usually when they send you for maintenance requests, they'll send you to a TA or a Petro, because those are the ones that always have a garage. Loves do, but I don't think they do like a whole variety of everything. I think they mostly just do like tires and stuff. But it's like you have to go to like a Petro and a TA. And I think this was like the next day, and she calls me freaking out about, am I gonna make it on time? You're not gonna make it on time. Just fussing at me about how I'm not gonna make it on time. I'm just like, we had this discussion. Why are you freaking out? Why are you yelling at me? I don't understand. And she's like, we're just gonna go ahead and split it off. I'm gonna change your direction here because I'm already on the highway. And she's like, I'm gonna change your direction, blah, blah, blah. And freaking just split it off at this drop yard and everything. And I'm sitting there like, is she seriously, after she hangs up, I'm like, is she seriously yelling at me like this is my fault? Yeah, she is. I'm like, wait a minute. How is any of this my fault? This was clearly discussed. Why are you pissed that it's late when you know it's going to be late because I have maintenance? So why would you give me another load and we just discussed it? I shouldn't take a load, but you gave me one anyway. Why? Why? So I'm pissed. I go live on Facebook and I just vent about it while I'm driving. And this was in the old truck, so like the vents were horizontal, so I had the phone stand and everything, and so it's like shaking or whatever. And I'm just like venting about it because it's just fucking stupid. And I was just like, after I'm done, venting on Facebook, I'm gonna go ahead and call her. Like, wait a minute, this is not my fault. Like, normally I keep things to myself. I am non-confrontational. I wish I was. Like, I wish I spoke my mind, because a lot of my pain in life was because I kept quiet and didn't say anything and just let things fester and bother me and just all that stuff. So I wish I wasn't so shy. I wish I was more outspoken. Things would have been different, honestly. But I was like, I'm calling this woman. I'm pissed. So I call her when I'm done. I call her and I was just like, I'm on my way to the drop yard, but I'm currently in traffic, so it's gonna take me a little longer to get there. She's like, okay, that's fine. And I was just like, I'm just calling to make sure like you weren't, making this my fault, because we talked about this in a message, and I sent in both other messages that no, I'm not ready for a load, and why for the mid-trip and DOT inspection. And I was just making sure, that you weren't trying to make it sound like it was my fault. She's like, oh, no, that wasn't it. It was just, I was getting messages about, asking where the load is it going to be on time and stuff. And I see messages like that, I just freak out and I just start panicking. And I'm just like, why are you freaking out about that? Why is that making you freak out? First of all, why is that making you freak out? You set yourself up for that and you're panicking over that message? Are you kidding? No! You're gonna catch the wrong one. You're gonna catch the wrong one. And it's not gonna be pretty, because they're gonna call you and snap the fuck back. There's a lot of men and women that are not the ones. And I hear stories about it all the time. Well, not all the time, but I hear stories about it, and it's so funny because they have no fucks to give, because they've been driving for years. They have no fucks to give. Be disrespectful. Try them. So it's just like, that isn't really professional. Like, I can understand, like, there are certain situations where getting frantic about it, kind of makes sense, but that didn't make sense. Especially to tell me. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't make sense, because you set yourself up for that one. You literally set yourself up for that, because we discussed about it 3 different times. But you still did what you wanted, and then you're freaking out about something you did. It doesn't make sense. I think that load was already late too when I picked it up, because for some reason all loads are late. It was loaded like 2 days ago and I pick it up day 3. Like, I don't know why my loads are like that, but they are. So it's just like, now that we got that cleared up, okay, well, I'll be there whenever I get there. I don't know. And we hung up. I just want to make sure that you weren't trying to sit there and make it like it's my fault, and then you tell the higher people like, oh, she's such a shitty driver, it's her fault. Like, no, bitch, that was not me. Late on the day coming back to work, yes, that is me. That is all me. But this is not me. So it's just like, it was retarded. It was just, I don't know. I'm turning the page. As you see that. Okay, so that's, that's the same what I was just talking about, how she just gets frantic. I just kind of write it out, and, yeah. So like I said, she'll catch the wrong one. I don't know what she's doing nowadays, because she quit. I found out she quit. It was weird because she like left. They were like, okay, so-and-so is going to be gone for like 2 weeks or something. And I think 2 months passed. I'm like, where the hell is this woman? I don't know where I had no idea what happened to her. I found out when I showed up, she was gone for a long time, and I had called about something, and I was just like, is she back? I was like, is she back? Because should I be calling you, or do I call her? Because I didn't want to be accidentally calling you, and I should be calling like my actual fleet manager and bothering you. He's like, no, it's just fine. She'll be back in like a week or something like that. She's already been gone for a long time, and so she was like, oh, she's just dealing with stuff at home, family stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I was just making sure she was okay, because she's been gone for a minute, and she was like, oh, no, she's fine. She'll be happy you asked, or something like that. And some odd time later, I went to the place I always deliver to, like the main manufacturing place. As you can see, my Grinch right there. He's being extra grumpy today, as always. But I had to go there to do something, to sign some papers, and they gave me like some appreciation gifts that everyone gets. Is some weird speaker and a beanie and whatnot. And they were like talking about I had gotten a message, I think, at that time as well. I just ripped off this paper and I wish I didn't. But I had gotten a message talking about who my new fleet manager is. I'm like, oh, okay. And she left. And I was just like, I talked to the guy. I was like, are you my new fleet manager? He's like, no, it's whatever her name is. And I was like, oh, okay, because like my old one was gone for a long time. I was like, what happened to her? It turns out that her son was a driver for my company and he had passed away. And they told her to take as much time as she needed because, you know, you lost your son. You know, that's a very serious thing. That's a very serious loss when you lose, well, one, when you lose a family member that's really close, especially a child. And she tried coming back to work, but coming back to work everything reminded her of her son. So she had to leave and she just up and left. And it was just like, that's very understandable. That's very understandable. So that's very unfortunate. And I am very sorry for her loss that happened. So, and that's how I have this new one, and she's pretty cool. Now we're starting to butt heads too. Like we just switched from like, it just went from like to it's back again. That's so intense. I don't understand why. But yeah, that is a very unfortunate loss. But now I'm switching to the current one. And now it's starting to get kind of, what is going on? I need to straighten my hair. So I go to pick up this load at wherever they sent me to go to. I try not to mention the names of where I go either. But so I go there to pick up this load. And this load was supposed to be picked up by somebody else. So it was like really late. It was like 5 days late or something like that. It's supposed to be picked up like 5 days ago or something. And already delivered. Like it's supposed to be picked up 5 days ago and delivered. I think I picked it up the day after it was supposed to be delivered. So I get it, or I go there and you know, I write down the information and everything. And they said something came up with that driver and he couldn't take it. So I'm there, I go inside, I write down the information, everything, and I'm sitting there waiting forever and a day because that's how it always works at this place over here. And the guy comes up to me and he's like, someone already picked up this load. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's already gone. I'm like, what do you, really? He's like, yeah, but you can take this one. I'm like, this one, where's it going? It's like, is it going to the same place? And he's like, yeah, it's going to the same place. I'm like, I guess, okay. And I'm just like, okay, sure. So I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I'm trying to drop the trailer and something else is already in the spot. And I'm just trying to sit here, wait for the yard dog, and the yard dog hasn't come back. So I said, fuck it, and put the trailer in the spot. But, well, I'm sitting here waiting for the yard dog because I was sitting, me and two other people were standing in there in that room waiting forever, just letting the clock run down on duty. And so by the time he was like, okay, yeah, go park the trailer and come inside and you know, grab the paperwork and all that cool stuff. I was like, cool. So I call my manager. And she's like, and I call her, I'm like, so that trailer I'm supposed to pick up, someone already picked it up. She's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, someone already picked it up. Really? Seriously? Yeah, so they said someone already picked it up and they're giving me this other load that's going to the same place. And she was like, okay, well, let me get in contact with these other people, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, the brokers that give them the loads, to give the drivers the loads. The brokers give the fleet managers the loads, and the fleet managers gives the loads to the freaking drivers. But for some reason, the drivers still have to talk to the brokers when shit goes wrong. That makes no sense. I don't see why I need to talk to them. They didn't give me personally the load, you did. Fix it. And then I hate having to call the brokers because they're like, they don't know what the fuck you're saying when you explain it to them. You have to talk to 3 different people to explain what the hell is going on with the load. Y'all deal with that. The fleet managers need to deal with that because you say word for word what's going on and they seem so lost every time. And I have to talk to 3 different people and wait for 3 different people to call me back every time. I hate it. So the broker calls me and they're like, was the load this, whatever. And they're like, you're supposed to pick up this load, which is the new random one they just gave me. I'm like, yeah, that's what they're giving me, but what they told me to come pick up was this. And we were going back and forth like, are you not understanding what I'm saying? This is what they sent me here for, and apparently it's already gone. The guys here are giving me this other load because it's going to the same place. After like 10 minutes, he finally gets it. And he was like, okay, yeah, just go ahead and take it, fine, whatever, take it. So I grab it and everything, send in the macro and telling them, calculating the hours and the miles and stuff, letting them know what time and day I would be there. And as I'm driving, I think this is like the day that I'm supposed to deliver, she calls me at like 8, talking about, why are you late? You're supposed to deliver this at 9, or why are you late? I'm gonna have to write you up because you were late. You need to deliver this at 9 a.m. today, blah blah blah. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, the delivery date is today at 9 a.m. I'm like, I scroll through the book because I write down everything that they send me. It says this load that I was supposed to pick up was supposed to be delivered on the day that I picked it up at 9. It was like the 25th or something. It was supposed to be delivered like the 25th at 08 or 09. It's the 27th or the 28th right now at the time at 8. I still had like 100 something miles to go or something. And I was like, that's what my says. They're like, that's what the load info says. She was like, that's what the load info says. I'm like, you all never sent me any new load info because y'all were frantic at the fact that someone already picked that up. And y'all were all flabbergasted and didn't know what to do. And you didn't send me shit. I figured y'all didn't have shit on it. You just feel like, just take it and go. She was like, oh. Well, I guess I'm not gonna write you up then. I'm like, I guess not, because you didn't send me shit. Y'all were all confused and confuzzled about the fact that someone already picked it up and none of y'all knew someone already picked it up but the brokers. I think they're losing organizational skills. They're losing things. They're not realizing things. They're not seeing things. And I say that because for a good while last year, we were all getting messages asking other drivers, have you seen these trailers? Lists of like 20 of them. Couldn't find 20 trailers. All trailers have tracking devices on them. Couldn't find them. And then you're like, oh, someone already picked up this load. Right. That's cool though. Yell at me. Yeah, that's cool. So she was like, oh, okay. Because I figured they didn't have anything written up on it yet. And they didn't think, oh, send her new information because she picked up a load that she wasn't supposed to get anyway. But, you know, whatever. That one rolls over. And then there was another time she did it too. where she thought I shut down earlier than what I really did. I don't even remember what happened because I need to start writing these things down as they happen because I forget. And she did it too. She was like, she said the same thing. Oh, I didn't have my coffee and everything. I'm like, I'm sure you didn't. You see me functioning and reading things correctly, and I get about 4 to 6 hours of sleep every day. If that. If I sleep through the night, which I don't. So, no. So that was funny. I was like, no, didn't do that. No ma'am, did not. Like, I'm not gonna shut down just because I feel like shutting down. Like, no. I always let people know, and they tell you to let them know if you have to shut down for whatever reason it is. And I always have. Always have. So it's just whatever. So it's come to my attention that they're not reading the messages anymore. Like, literally everything that they could possibly need to know about a load is in these messages. Like, that's how they structured them, so you can let them know everything they need to know. They're not reading them. So I got this load. Load was already late. Like, by the time they gave it to me, it was already like 2 days late or something like that. And they all are. Literally, they all are. And I put in the message, it says, are you gonna be able to make it on time, yes or no? I put no, and put when I would get there. Calculate the hours out and mileage is out. I said no, I put when. The time comes around, and she's like, she calls me like, are you gonna be able to make it on time? I'm like, no. And she's like, no, what happened? I'm like, I put it in the message. I put it in the message that I would be there same day. The same day it was supposed to be delivered, but a later time to account for the miles I still have left over. And she goes back and reads it. She's like, oh, it is in there. Oh, shit. Like, it hasn't been in there since y'all been doing fucking Qualcomm messages. Like, what? I don't understand. What is happening right now? What is happening? What is happening over there in this office building? Because y'all sound like you're losing it. It's in there. It's literally, if I showed you guys, it's literally structured that there's no reason why you should ask these questions. Unless the message itself doesn't go through. There's no reason why these questions should be asked. It's literally in there. Unless the load was picked up exactly when it was done, and you had plenty of time to get from point A to point B, and you said you can't make it on time, then yes, I can understand you call and ask. But they didn't even read that part. And she was like, why? I was like, because that's how it was when I calculated my hours. Because like I said, this, that, this. And she's like, okay, whatever, trying to make me sound like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and stuff. Like, I may not have been doing this for very long, but don't speak to me like that. Like, I know what I'm doing when I'm counting these fucking hours out. And so the day of delivery, I wake up and send this message. Oh, fuck, I didn't even pull that shit up. I'm dumb as hell, and it's on my phone, and I can't look at things on my phone while I'm recording. Oh, no. I don't know. It's, if I can find it. But I basically just spelled out everything, and I was just like, you know what? No, we're not doing this. I have something to say to you. I'm not a rude person, so it wasn't gonna come out rude or anything, but oh, I know what I can do to find it. I screenshotted it and sent it to a friend of mine. Or I didn't screenshot it, but I copied and pasted it. Oh, no, that's not it. That was something else. Another creepy guy moment. I guess I should just add it to the comments because these people be tripping. Did I not send it? I guess oh, I must not have actually sent it to this person. Well, poop. Well, I thought I was going to read it like word for word. But basically what I said was, I knew that I calculated my hours right because I have like 200 miles left and blah, 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 blah. I knew I would have over 200 miles left by the time I get here. That's why I put the time. Basically, that's what I said. I can't remember everything word for word. And trying to scroll back on my Facebook is impossible because I share like 1,000 things a day from other pages and stuff that pop up on my timeline. Especially if I fall through the rabbit hole of videos, then yeah, I take over your timeline on my own Facebook page. Not my YouTube Facebook page. You're welcome for that, guys. Because y'all be pissed as hell for me putting all that random shit on there. But that's basically what I did. And I was like, yeah, trying to make me feel like I'm stupid. No, ma'am, I knew what I was doing, you know? I was like, whatever I said. And the reply was 10-4 or something like that. And that was it. And I was just like, funny, you had a lot to say when you called me the other day. Like that's what I said on my post. You had a lot to say when you called me the other day, and good to go. That's it. Turns out I sent that on a Saturday. It's supposed to be delivered on a Saturday, and my fleet manager doesn't work on weekends. I was like, damn it! That was for her to read, not you, after hours people. Oh man. The hype like died after I realized it like 2 hours later that it was Saturday and she's not at work. I was fucking sad. I was like, damn, that was for her getting smart at me. And it was the after hours people that ruined the hype. It really did. And so it was just like, dang it. But I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing when I said I wasn't going to be there on time. Because I'm not farting around and just wasting time. Like, that's me calculating shit. And everything like you're supposed to. And then y'all mileage be off too. Sometimes it's off by like 6 miles, 3 miles. But where I was going was off by 30. So add that to the time as well. And it's just... Oh, that's also what I put in the message. And the distance between here in Texas and here in Tennessee is this mileage, not this mileage. All that stuff and all. And it was just like, dang, that was for her. That ruined the hype. Darn it. Ruined the hype. And the last one, this is for the after hours people. This is the after hours people. So I delivered it was a Saturday morning at this other place. I stayed there. There's like where the location is, there's this little side road that's in between businesses that I could park on, and that's what I did. I pushed my clock and drove, so I had like 40 minutes left on my drive time. And also because my 70-hour clock is gone, so now I'm just running off of recaps. Whatever I get back at midnight, that's what I'm running off of. So I didn't have a lot of time, but it also helps that now I can drive 68 miles an hour now instead of the 65 I was stuck with for the past year and some change. I get there and I was supposed to deliver at 8, but my clock didn't come back. So I sent the message saying, hey, I'm here at the place, but I don't have my clock back to move yet. So I let them know that. And then, so they unloaded and everything like that. I send in the macro saying, yes, empty that bill of lading destination, bill of lading destination. And yes, at the end of it, yes, I am ready for load. It asks you, were you on time in there? And I see if you were on time. I said, no, I was not. And it asks you why, and I said because of my hours. My hours did not come back in time to deliver. And it was late. It was like midnight or something. It was like something late or whatever. Between 10 and 12 is when I got there. And I had like 40 minutes left, and I was like, fuck it. I'm not trying to catch a violation, trying to make this delivery, and I'm still moving when the clock strikes 0. So I just parked, and my hours didn't come back in time. I counted it out, and it was supposed to come back by, or no, I think it was supposed to be delivered at 7. It was supposed to be delivered at 7. I counted it out, and it was supposed to come back at 6, but then the way the new update happened, the new update kind of fucked up everything, the way it works. So it's not just a 10-hour rest break. You have to spend like a mandatory 8 hours in sleeper. And yes, the 2 hours off duty throughout the day. But if you still have time on your on-duty clock, that shit's gonna get added to how long you have to stay in sleeper. Makes me late every fucking time. And it was never like that. It was never like that. It was 10 hours. If I was off duty for 5 hours that whole day, and then I went and then put myself in sleeper, I would only have to be in sleeper for another 5 hours. And I could drive. That's how the clock functioned. So the update fucked everything up. So now people looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you late? Why is your clock not coming back? Ask the people that make the shit, because I didn't do it. You fucked everything up. Now it doesn't work right. So now I'm sitting here, I have to stay off duty or go into sleeper immediately just to go ahead and have that counted out. Because it's gonna count whatever's on that clock that's left now. And I hate that, because now it's like there's no reason why my clock shouldn't have come back when it does. But since I had time still on my 14-hour on duty, since I still had time on that, it fucks me over and adds it to sleeper. So that's just dumb. But yeah, I put no to delivering on time, and I put hours because my hours didn't come back. As I'm yelling and being angry and annoyed by this stupid clock. And so I put no to on time, hours, all the other information, and then at the end, are you ready for load after empty? Why? I put why. Yes. Send. As I'm kind of sitting there, I'm about to wash my face in the truck, because I said fuck it, save time, I'm going to wash my face in the truck. I have a microwave, I can warm up a bottle of water. I get a message saying, when are you gonna, like, when do you want your load info, or when you're gonna be ready for it, or something like that. And I was just like, are you new? Are you new? Didn't they teach you that the shit's in the message? Like, what? Are you new? That's how I was looking at it. I was like, are you new or something? I was like, I replied, because they were like, when are you gonna pick up the load, and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, as soon as you give me the load info. That's what I said, something like that. As soon as you send me the load info. And then I get him. Then she replies back, or whoever the fuck is over there. Well, you put no for ready for load. So that's why I'm asking. And then she's like, FYI, you should, you know, if you're ready for a load, you put this, that, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this talking to me right now? Like, no. And I double checked before I said anything. I double checked my own message, because I might have pushed the wrong button. Happens sometimes. Rare, but it happens sometimes where I put the wrong thing. And so I scrolled and scrolled. I was like, okay, I put no to being on time. Okay. And I scrolled to the bottom. Am I ready for a load? Yes. I checked it like 3-4 times before I said something. And I was like, the only no I put was to being on time. That's all I said. The only no I put was to being on time. That was it. and send. And because I was like, why are you getting video of a new file? I'm like, why are you getting snappy trying to make it like I may not have been doing this for very long, but I know what the fuck I'm doing. I looked, I did not push the wrong button. I would have been like, oh, I meant to put, yes, I'm ready for a load. I must have been pressing too fast, because like, that's what I thought. I might have been pressing too fast, because I kind of spaced out when I was typing stuff in. And so I was like, let me just double check before I say something. And nope, I put, yes, I'm ready for a load. I checked 4 times, read it slowly. Yes, I put yes. And I was like, nope, the only thing I put no was for being on time. And they're like, oh, okay, I see. It must have glitched on our side. Good job on your part. Don't patronize me. Don't fucking patronize me. Like, you sent a whole condescending sounding message about how I should know how to do it. And then don't patronize me. Don't do it, because it's not nice. And I was just like, yo, I can't with y'all slipping. I already don't like after hours people, because they act like they don't do their fucking job. They act like they can't do a damn thing. They really do. They really do. They act like they can't give you a fucking load. And I know they can, because they can do everything else. They literally can do everything else. They can freaking give you personal drive time. They can freaking get you maintenance requests, like, and all this other shit that you call and ask a question, fix your hours, they can do all that other stuff, but they act like they can't give you a load or cancel it until you're sitting there with a fucking load you can't take. Like in my other video, whatever what I was waiting for a load that isn't ready. That's what that was. Because they had me sitting there all fucking weekend, and like, if I wasn't so far from home, I would have took my ass home. I was in the same state, but I was just like over 100 miles. There was no point in driving home. But it's just like, they'll have you sit there. If the Monday through Friday fleet managers, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. people don't give you a load, you don't have no load, and you have to wait for them to come back to work. So I was just like, don't patronize me, please. No. Like, I kind of want to scroll and see that, like, ugh. Let me see. I've sent a few messages since then. Let me see. That was in my inbox. Oh, that wasn't that far, because we don't talk like that. Just so you know, when you put a no at the end there, it says you're not ready for the load info, and therefore it doesn't send it out to you. Put a Y to get the info when you want that info. And I was like, I didn't put a no. Then they sent me the fucking info, and it says, okay, looks like there was a glitch with it. I did see you put a Y. Good job on your end. I'm like, don't patronize me. You got snappy trying to make me sound like I'm slow as fuck. I'm not that new. The only thing yeah, there are a lot of fucking messages, but you use the same like 5. You know what I'm saying? You really use the same 5. And I'm just looking at it like, who is this? Who is this trying to get snappy? And it's just like, when you send messages, you really have to watch how you word them, because messages are so black and white, they can be taken in any direction if you do not word your sentences correctly. Because I've gotten into arguments with people. I got arguments with one Facebook friend, because how he came off at me, like, it took God knows how long to get him to see how he came off towards me, and he was like, oh. Yeah, fucker, that's why we're having this argument, because that's how I'm arguing with you, about how you're coming off at me. Not how you're feeling. I don't give a fuck about how you're feeling. How you're coming off at me is what's escalating the situation. It could have went a whole other way. So, yeah. That's the whole thing about that. It was just, that's how it came off as, you know, my phone. That it came off so condescending. Oh, that light is not. So yeah, it's like any other workplace. You butt heads with people, except I'm butting heads with people that I never see ever. I have seen my current fleet manager once. I have seen her once when I went to that place I always deliver to. I was taking out Robin to go use the bathroom, and her and some other fleet manager walked up, and that's how I met her. I didn't meet the first two that I had, but I met my current one. So I know what she looks like, sort of. I actually don't remember now, but I have actually seen her. But yeah, butting heads with people that you never see, because you really will never see the fleet managers, and you definitely will never see the after hours folks, because after hours folks, so it's like late at night. I don't even know where they're at. I don't even know. I think the after hours people, I think it phones it over to our main terminal over there in some far off state on the other side, more west or something. But oh, there was another thing. There was another one. This is way earlier. And it was the after hours people again. Some lady got real snappy, and I'm just like, why are you acting like this? Is this because you work in the late shift? If this is how you're gonna act when someone needs help, you need to switch jobs. I was sent, I don't know where the fuck I was going, but it required me to drive through tolls. I've never driven through a toll before, so how was I supposed to fucking know? I've grown up, knowing that toll booths, you have to put money in to keep going. I have no cash, no coins, so I don't know what to do, because that's what's going through my mind. And I'm just like, what do? Do I just drive through and they write me a ticket? Like, because I don't have any money on me. I have money, but I don't have it on me to go through these things. I don't know. And I'm calling these people and I'm trying to explain. They're like, oh, we can send you a cash advance. You just have to get to a truck stop. I'm like, no, I have money. I don't have money on me, because it's one of these, it's the toll booths. You know, you have to put money in them. They didn't fucking know either. So they weren't very much help. They didn't know either. So I'm like pulled over before the toll. And they're like, it looks like there's a Love's near you. And this is before I downloaded the Trucker Path app, so I don't know where the fuck they're telling me to go. And so I'm trying to ask them, like, what are you talking about? Like, go off the, like, there's an exit right before the toll booth. Go off there and follow it or whatever, and it's down there. And I'm like, is there a toll on that exit? And they're like, no, there shouldn't be one right there. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm trying to understand, like, where is the Love's? Like, what are you talking about? Like, where is it? So I don't have the address. I don't know how to Google it, because I don't know what part I'm even in right now. I didn't have the Trucker app. And she was like, she paged me over to someone else, and the person was like, yeah, it's in whatever, Eufaula or something. Yeah, if you just Google, it's the Love's in Eufaula or whatever. It's not that far from you. If you could just type in, so I was like, if I just type in, Love's in Eufaula, the address will come up. She's like, yeah. It's like, you guys. She's like, oh, you guys, we can't do everything for you. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, both of them were giving me attitude. The first lady and the second lady. I was like, first of all, I wasn't asking you to give me everything, to do everything for me. I was asking you where it was, because I don't know where the hell I am. I'm asking you for the name, something. And you're getting snappy with me. Like, just because it's fucking like 9 o'clock, don't start bitching at me because you're upset at your job. Don't do that. You can catch the wrong one and they're gonna find you. I'm dead serious. They're gonna catch the wrong ones, and that's the funniest shit, when the wrong ones show up in their face. In an alternate universe, I know this for a fact. Like, I just feel it in every atom and cell and DNA strand, RNA strand, everything, all the 4 basic elements that make up a human body. Carbon, hydrogen, whatever, oxygen, nitrogen. I can't remember it all. But anyways, it's not hydrogen, but yeah. I know for a fact in an alternate universe, I'm the wrong one. I know for the fact in alternate universe, I'm the wrong one. Because alternate universes, the person is always the opposite of what the other person is. I'm quiet. I let people shit on me all fucking day. Anyone and everyone. I just sit there quiet, take it, get annoyed, and fester about it, and then bitch about it later when I could have done something when it happened. That's me. Alternate universe me is fucking people up. I think she's stabbing folks. She's probably stabbing folks. I'm not gonna lie. She's probably walking up stabbing folks like she's in prison. Ka! Right in the back of the kidneys. Like, I just feel it. I feel it. I really do. I feel it right here. But yeah, I was like, I'm just trying to ask a simple question. I'm nervous. You know, I haven't been driving for very long. I don't understand these toll booths. You know, I'm not prepared. What do I do? And they return with attitude. And I'm trying to ask a simple question because I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. But you want to get snippy with me. Why? Like, I'm just trying to ask you, where is it? Because I don't even know where I'm at currently. And you're getting snappy. Like, I don't know where I'm at currently to even really, you know what I'm saying? So that was very unnecessary with that. It was very unnecessary. I don't know. These after hours people. If you gonna catch an attitude because it's late, don't work these jobs. Because one, they tell you be professional, to keep your shit at home. Don't bring it to work. Don't bring your drama to work. Don't take it out on other people, because that's not fair to other people. What the fuck they had to do with your problem? They didn't cause it. But, you know, I think that's the only other, I think that's the last time I think that's every time I've butt heads with my fleet managers or the after hours people. Other than the whole going back and forth with talking to the brokers, and they don't ever know what you're trying to say. It's like you're talking to brand new people that just started working every time you call. I've called them at least twice, I think. 2 to 3 times, and it's the same thing every time. The same, having to call 3 different times and waiting for people to call back 3 different times, and people still don't understand what you're trying to say, and you're explaining it as clear as day. But yeah, other than that, that is, I believe, everything. Disagreeing with people you don't even ever see. So I don't know if that's worse exactly. Is it worse? I don't know, because like people you see every day, you have to deal with them and their whatever behavior. Because I know for a fact it's like people, if you have to work with people that you don't like, you see them every day, so they have more excessive behavior, like their whole day is spent making your day miserable. Except for mine, it's just like they do little things here and there that are pissing me off, and we're butting heads and having disagreements. I think that's worse, being able to see them every day, because they're literally they're going out of their way to make your day miserable for no reason. I haven't run into anybody like that, but we're just butting heads on the fact that these people they're not reading the information. They're not bothering to read it. They're being disorganized. The fact that, you know, the fact that you didn't know these things, and it's not like we're going to a new place. Oh, this is a new client on our account, and they're just learning. These places have been up for quite some time. And the fact that you don't know the information you need to know, and I'm calling you and you're just like, oh, I don't know what happened. It's just kind of weird. But anyways, I think that is it. I did mention another creepy guy moment. I posted that on my Facebook page and on my Twitter. I don't know if you'll be able to find it on my Twitter now, because I do share a little bit more on Twitter, because I follow a lot of animal pages and things. But on my Facebook page for YouTube, it is on there. Proud of myself. I said something. But I think that is it. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to go take this dog out. She's on timeout again because she thinks it's cool to chew my brake pedal again, because she was on timeout previously for that. So now she's in isolation in her little corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and take her out and go in the shower and watch my favorite anime when I'm done. Let me get out of here. Alright, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to mention this because I'm just horrible with outros, but check the links in the description below. My streaming links for Mixer and Twitch are there. I will start streaming again. I have to figure out why my Elgato will not connect to my accounts anymore to do that, but they are there. And then I have my social media links, my Facebook and my Twitter is down below. And also, my dog has an Instagram page, so if you want to see all of her little cuteness, feel free to stop by. Follow, like pictures, look at her cuteness and her little stubby legs. But yeah, now I will see you guys in the next one.